All right, biohackers, we are back here at Biohackers World live with Josh and Janae. We've got a special guest, Siim Land. Josh, tell us about Siim.
Well, we're really excited to talk with Siim today. Siim is an internationally known biohacker and anti-aging longevity expert. He is a multiple best-selling author, and he is the guy that anybody wants to talk to when it comes to longevity. So Siim, thank you for making the trek to LA. We're super
my pleasure.
excited.
I'm happy to be here.
And data supported one of the slowest aging humans that is living right now. This is like impressive.
Well, yeah, I think, at least based on who's measured it. So
Yes.
not all the people have measured or taken that test, but I'm in the top 3, I think.
Yeah, which is so amazing. So tell us kind of what got you started on this journey and why is this so interesting to you?
Yeah, I mean, I was always interested in like fitness. During high school, I started lifting weights, and around university, I shifted more towards like preventive health and longevity, mostly because my grandfather died to cancer when he was 36.
Oh my gosh,
and,
that's young.
I didn't want to walk down that kind of a road. Not only cancer, but heart disease, all these other chronic diseases. And I guess, I had like a bit more wisdom to start. I think I was maybe 22 or 21 years old at the time. And then I started my kind of blog and YouTube channel as well during uni, which I've been doing 8 years now. And I've always made content about like what I'm mostly interested in and what I want to do for myself. So that's why it has constantly evolved from different topics, and now I'm mostly interested in longevity.
I love that.
What have you found for you has been the most interesting change between when you started in your interest in longevity and today? What has really stood out to you personally?
I think I've gotten more involved or interested in blood work as well. So, tracking blood work is quite important. Obviously, you don't necessarily need to measure, hundreds of things, but getting a good grip on some of the fundamentals and basics is going to go a long way of understanding, what is actually going on in your body, and it also makes it easier to know what is working or not.
Yeah, I always love telling my clients to, they need a dashboard, right? You need to be able to see what's going on. You wouldn't drive a car without one, so you've got to make sure that you know your own body. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how often are you testing your own blood and biomarkers?
Right now, I'll be doing maybe 2-3 comprehensive blood panels per year. But I'll also do like a few individual markers here and there. So if I'm, something was a bit off, or I was specifically testing some supplement or whatever other thing, then I'll just, measure one individual marker.
And what are the most important markers that you're kind of focusing on? And then also, are those shifting as you're measuring?
Yeah, I think for general health and longevity, very basic markers such as like hemoglobin A1C, lipid panel, CRP, they all are very important in terms of preventing getting diabetes or kidney disease or heart disease or all those things. So that necessarily need to go into all the nuances as long as the basic markers are kind of covered and they're optimal. So it's very likely that if you have normal lipids and normal hemoglobin A1C, then the more nuanced markers are also more optimal. If there are some discrepancies there, or there's some things that are off, or there's some confusion about how you feel or how your blood markers look like, then it's more important to go into more like specific markers, but just the very simple ones, like a comprehensive metabolic profile, that's a very good overview of multiple organ systems.
Do you have any preference between blood draw versus finger prick on certain tests?
The finger prick is usually very annoying because I don't know, I don't get like a lot of blood out of it. It's just requires more time to get the blood, whereas with the vein is just a few minutes.
Now, one of the things that I've noticed in your work with yourself and, relating that to the blood work, you're really dialed into your body. So how easy is it for you to see, I feel a little off in this, and then, you get the next blood panel, and how much does that relate to what you're feeling before you even see the data?
Mm-hmm. Well, for my own example or my own experience, I haven't noticed like a lot of the differences. Like there's no subjective feeling or difference in feeling between a hemoglobin A1C of 4.8 versus 5.2%.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Maybe there would be a difference if you have a hemoglobin A1C of 6%, but I've never been at that range. And the same with liver markers or inflammation markers. I don't notice much difference. And even actually if I have like some higher heavy metals, like recently my lead was a little bit elevated, but I didn't feel anything. So that's why it's important to measure still and look at it to see what is actually going on. Like you can't feel high blood pressure, you can feel high cholesterol, you can feel high blood sugar. I don't know, maybe you might feel it if you have like raging diabetes or something, but
Sure.
Normally you don't really feel that.
So at what point, so you got invested in this personally, right? At what point did you decide that getting involved in something like the Rejuvenation Olympics and like on this sort of global scale, how did that come about?
I just heard about the test and wanted to try it out. So I got the first result, and you needed to do 3 to qualify for the leaderboard. So I did the 3. But to be honest, I don't think I'm gonna be doing that specific test a lot more often. Mostly because I think there's a lot of problems with the accuracy of the test. It can vary a lot, even day to day, and even within the 24 hours, it can fluctuate. So, and if you get like a particular result, it can be just chance.
Right,
so,
in the moment. It's not as much of a whole picture as you'd like to see.
Yeah, it's very fluid, this marker, and all the biological age tests, they're very fluid. All blood markers obviously are fluid, but you're not going to massively change them within a day. Whereas with these epigenetic age tests, you can see quite a lot of fluctuations even within the 24-hour cycle. And possibly even if you do the same test at the same time, 2 of them, they're gonna give different results.
Yeah.
Which has been shown by someone like Dr. Matt Caberlain, who did, I think, 4 different biological age tests. He did them at the same time, and they got different results.
Yeah. So anybody who is listening or watching and doesn't know, Matt is one of the foremost experts on mTOR and rapamycin out of University of Washington, I believe. Matt's fantastic, has the Optispan podcast, but he is sort of on that front edge with the epigenetic markers along with Aubrey and all those guys. So take a look for Matt, he's great. Yeah. So you get involved in this, you get in the top, I think you were number 1 at one point, and like you're with all of the slowest agers, right? How did this impact you in your daily life when you were setting up your own protocols, right? Did being a part of that Rejuvenation Olympics really impact what you were doing, or were you involved in your protocol sort of independently of that, and the Rejuvenation Olympics were just sort of a byproduct?
I mean, I was already doing a lot of the same things before I even took the test. I guess I got more motivated or got more serious with it when I got the first result to qualify for the leaderboard. But interestingly, you don't necessarily know what you need to focus on when you do get that result.
Right.
So okay, you get the result. Okay, I'm gonna exercise more, eat better, and sleep more. But that would be the general advice you would want to follow anyway. So it doesn't have the specificity of what area do you need to focus on. Like, is it sleep? Is it some adjustments in your macronutrients with the diet, or some type of different exercise, or do you need certain supplements? So that's the kind of info you would get from the blood work. Like, you can see from the blood work that, okay, your blood sugar is high, you need to adjust the diet, or your lipids are high, you need to adjust the diet. So it's more actionable in that sense. Whereas with this test result, you get the result, but you would keep doing the same thing that you would probably be doing anyway. And there's also like a sweet spot with all those things. You can't. There's no like linear benefit with healthy lifestyle behavior and the result that you get from this epigenetic age test. So if you exercise too much, you might hit a point of diminishing returns, and it actually gives you worse results. And the same with diet, like maybe too much calorie restriction will be more harmful for your score. So yeah, there's a lot of, I guess, potential for error, or you don't know necessarily what is the kind of sweet spot.
There can be too much of a good thing.
Yes.
Yes.
So what are some of the sweet spots you've specifically found for yourself in the most effective protocols you've been using?
Yeah, I think exercise is very important, and over the last few years I've made some pretty good conclusions about what's the optimal amount of exercise, at least in my opinion, based on the literature. And it's you want to do both cardio and resistance training, but doing more moderate exercise appears to be more beneficial for lowering mortality risk than doing vigorous exercise beyond a certain point. So it's something along like 150 to 200 minutes per week of vigorous exercise, which would include, HIIT cardio and resistance training. That seems to be like the sweet spot. If you do more than that, then there's going to be more diminishing returns. If you do less than that, then that's also you're leaving, more results on the table, and it's not as good. But with moderate exercise, it's kind of linearly associated with lower mortality risk. So you can do up to 900 minutes per week of moderate exercise. So like walking, hiking, jogging, cycling, those things. You can do as much as you want pretty much, and it's going to be better than doing less. So I've adjusted my exercise routine in a way to, obviously keep doing resistance training. I do it like 3 times per week, but I'm not so invested into it that it would start to like take too much time or cause too much damage to the body.
So just your weight training, give us an idea. What do those sessions look like for you?
Yeah, I do like something like 45 minutes each session, and I focus more the compound lifts, so like squat, bench, deadlift, pull-ups, overhead press, and I like to focus more on like strength side. So muscle is important, but muscle is more like a reflection of a muscle strength and muscle quality, and strength is more important than muscle mass when it comes to longevity, or at least it's correlated more with longevity than muscle mass. Of course, if you're sarcopenic, you have too low bone density or too low muscle mass, then that's also harmful, especially if you're older. But I don't find it valuable to focus on just the mass, because with extra mass, if you have too much muscle, then it can still be bad for your heart and kidneys, and just wears out your organs. So I like to focus more muscle strength and having good cardiorespiratory fitness.
Okay.
And I think it's really important that people also hear what he just said here, right? Which is there can be too much of a good thing. As we age, one of the things that we lose also is flexibility, right? And so getting too much muscle mass and sort of impeding our range of motion and things like that also has negative outcomes. So I think it's really important that people hear what he's saying here, which is to really think about how you're training. It's very important.
And really optimizing that. So as you said, you've been doing this for about 8 years. And one of the things we like to ask is, how old are you actually? How old do you feel? And how has that changed for you over the last 8 years as you've actually aged?
I'm 30 right now, and I feel, it's obviously not an age where you would notice significant aging, but I'm much fitter than I was in high school, especially with cardio. I'm much stronger. I have better flexibility, but that's mostly because of years of training, and I'm not in an age group yet where natural aging would start to impair.
Don't look over here.
Physical function yet.
No, go ahead and look over here for the future of you.
But cardiorespiratory fitness peaks when you're 18, but muscle mass and muscle strength peak something mid-30s. So speaking of VO2 max and cardio, then I'm quite ahead of the curve with muscle mass and muscle strength. I also have above average with compared to the general population. So, but I'm not near the peak of natural ability yet. So yeah, I think I feel excellent in terms of daily well-being and function.
Yeah, which is excellent. And congratulations on that, because it truly is a feat, which is, very impressive.
So you're working on a book right now for supplements. Tell us a little bit. I mean, you're a multiple best-selling author. You've got a lot of stuff that you've written. I can tell that you're a very introspective, thinking kind of guy. How did you decide that supplements was your next beast to tackle?
Yeah, I mean, I have a co-author with whom I've written a lot of books. I think like 6 books with him, Dr. James DiNicolantonio, and I mean, we've covered minerals, we've covered fitness, we've covered collagen, we've covered blood sugar, obesity, immune system, and we felt like supplements was a good topic. It's very popular. There hasn't been this kind of a book yet on supplements, so it's gonna be like more like a Bible or like a Wikipedia for supplements. So it's not like a narrative driven book, right? It's more about, okay, each chapter is each different supplement. So we'll look at highest qualitative evidence, what does the highest qualitative evidence suggest of what does this supplement do, what are the optimal dosages based on those clinical trials, frequency, all those kind of things. And also look at the supplements, that don't have the evidence. So like some very popular supplements that might not have that much, benefits, and why it is so, or what are some limitations.
So we know that you're covering a lot of your big bases, right? You've got your exercise dialed in, both cardio and strength. We know that you have your sleep dialed in. We know that you have your diet dialed in. On your supplement stack, what are your 3 favorite supplements? And I mean that in terms of efficacy, right? And sort of total value. So if it's a good ROI to take, what are those top 3 for you?
Yeah, I think for me especially would be, I like collagen. So collagen, it has evidence that it helps with skin anti-aging and skin wrinkles in humans. And that's, the biggest benefit it has. Like, there's not going to be any like life extension or longevity benefits, right, but it's mostly for skin anti-aging. And I think it's because it's like a low-hanging fruit for people to have. There's also some evidence that might have some cardiometabolic benefits, like lipids and things like that. But the majority of benefits are around the skin health. The second one is astaxanthin. That is a carotenoid, and it's a very powerful antioxidant. There is clinical evidence that it also protects the skin against UV radiation specifically, and it can also help with skin anti-aging, but it also helps with inflammation and some metabolic health markers. From a longevity side of things, then there is the intervention testing program who tested astaxanthin, and they found that it extended lifespan of mice by 12%.
Wow.
So, and that's one of the like gold standards for testing molecules for lifespan. So, I'm interested in astaxanthin's potential for longevity because of that as well. And the third one for me is a glycine, which is a very, cheap, tastes good, it's relatively safe, even in large doses. It doesn't, to be honest, it doesn't have like a ton of clinical evidence. There's evidence that it helps with sleep in humans and lowers blood sugar. But from the animal data, you can also see that glycine supplementation can also extend lifespan, and it was one of the molecules in the ITP that also extended lifespan. But I take it mostly because of my own theories that it can help to support collagen turnover plus life extension through mimicking what's called methionine restriction. Like this amino acid balance in the diets has an important role. But there's others as well, like creatine, magnesium, omega-3s, a lot of like good supplements.
So when is this book going to be out that we can expect this so we can deep dive into reading more about what you're talking about?
It's not clear yet.
Okay.
I've gone through about maybe 20 supplements.
Okay.
maybe like 1/3 are finished right now. So probably like fall. Fall is a good time, yeah.
Okay. And where can people find you?
Wait, I've got one more question
yeah.
before we get that. So
Okay.
this is going to be slightly on topic, but also slightly. So my question for you is, I know you're a dog guy. We talked about this earlier. Do you do anything for your dog? Like you're a Matt Caberlin fan, right? You know Matt. So Matt has the dog aging project. Do you do anything to help your dog with your dog's longevity and health?
Yeah, I mean, he eats a good diet. He is not overweight. He gets exercise. You know, some of the basics. As for humans, I don't give him like rapamycin yet.
Yet.
Maybe in the future. He's too young for it right now. Interestingly, like he gets like car sickness often, so he drools in the car. And we were giving him this anti-nausea drug, which actually has like this active ingredient called the glycine. And I looked it up, and it was one of the ingredients that extended lifespan as well
really?
in the IGP.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's a good coincidence that he gets some of this drug that actually has lifespan effects.
Oh, that's fantastic. Have you ever had a dog that's been nauseous?
Yes, and drooling everywhere
Crazy.
in the car. Yeah.
That's so funny. All right, so sorry. So I wanted to.
I'm glad you did. And we've got your book that's out now. If you want to just hold that up, this is the Longevity Leap. And before we go, tell us a little bit about this book and kind of what the premise is, and then where can people find you?
Yeah, so the Longevity Leap is essentially like a manual or an overview of what is evident as of now for longevity for humans. I cover exercise, diet, a few supplements, and sleep, and a lot of chronic diseases like heart disease, metabolic syndrome, and kidneys and blood pressure. And yeah, it has like 24 chapters, 8,000 references.
Wow.
Oh my.
So you've done your research.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, the references are online, so this is just the book.
Oh wow.
So
it's a thick.
So
thick
it would be twice as thick if the references were here. But yeah, I just spent almost like a year writing it, and learned a lot just through research as well. Of course, I had all the framework was set before, but just learning a lot of new details about all these different topics was very insightful for myself. Like I wrote it for myself in a sense, but it's very useful for everyone to check out.
Yeah, I love that you can share your work as you're doing it and create a guide for those of us who want more of that in depth, but don't have a year to write a book. So thank you for doing that legwork.
Yeah. And yeah, the book is on Amazon, and I'm Siim Land on all the social media.
Great. Well,
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for taking some time,
Yeah, my
and
pleasure.
we really appreciate you coming out.
Yeah.
And we'll keep our eye on you, because I anticipate that even if you're not participating in the Longevity Olympics, you're still going to be real close to #1 for a long time.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you.
Come join us at Biohacker Miami, November 1st and 2nd.